Well, hello and welcome to Nine's very special coverage of the unveiling of the National Rugby League's newest franchise. We're coming to you live from HBF Park here in Perth on what is a picture-perfect West Australian day. It is an announcement that brings in a fresh start here in the West and taps into the rich history of the mighty North Sydney Bears over in the East. I know plenty of people are watching with interest on both sides of the country as this announcement unfolds. As you can see behind me, a packed media conference set to get underway. The Premier of WA, Roger Cook, alongside the National Rugby League CEO, Andrew Abdo, Peter Vlandis, the Australian Rugby League Commission Chairman, as we take it away live here on Nine, your home of rugby league, the unveiling of Perth's newest franchise in the National Rugby League.
Ready for an important and exciting announcement. Couldn't possibly guess what it is.
The wait is over, Jeff.
We all good to go? Great. Look, thank you very much for coming, everyone. We're down here at HBF Park, wonderful stadium as part of Perth's sporting infrastructure. I'm joined by the Deputy Premier and Minister for Sport, Rita Sapiotti. Also with us is the Chair of the National Rugby League, Peter Vlandis, and NRL Chief Executive Officer, Andrew Abdo. Here, it's great to have them all here for a very important announcement. And today we can announce that the Perth Bears are about to become part of the National Rugby League competition. Western Australia is the strongest economy in the country and the fastest growing population in the country. So it makes sense that any national team has a Perth representative. And that's exactly what is about to happen. I'm excited to announce that the WA Government has reached agreement with the Australian Rugby League Commission to establish a new WA-based NRL club. Not only will this be great news for sports fans, it's great news for our economy. And it's great news for WA jobs. The new club will compete in the NRL Premiership competition for the first time in 2027. And as we've insisted right from the beginning, it will deliver a significant return for the WA taxpayers. My government will provide $65.6 million in temporary financial support for the Perth Bears over 7 years to secure this opportunity for Western Australia. But the return to the WA taxpayers will be so much more. New economic activity, new tourism and visitation, and the WA brand broadcast across the nation week after week on the home and away fixtures. Independent modelling suggests that return on investment for the state of $28 million every year once the team enters the competition. And that's a return on investment to the WA taxpayers of 2 to 1. Equivalent to $140 million over 7 years. We've worked hard to secure this deal and we took a strong negotiating position. Because of this, we can say this will be a membership-based club and a not-for-profit club. The club will be chaired by a Western Australian. Every dollar of WA government support will be spent in Western Australia to develop the game. The NRL will not charge a licence fee. I mentioned before that as part of the agreement, the state will provide $65.6 million in financial support to the new club over 7 years for grassroots development, establishment costs and match day support and tourism marketing. For the duration of this 7-year period of state support, the ARLC has agreed to cover the costs associated with running the club, as well as guaranteeing that the club will not be charged a licence fee and that every dollar of WA government support will be spent here in WA. The club will also benefit from a number of community sport infrastructure projects funded separately by the WA Government, including fast-tracking a new high-performance centre to be shared by Rugby League and Rugby Union in Malaga. This is a great outcome for WA. Like Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, WA will host AFL and NRL sides. And I'd back us to compete just as hard in the NRL as we do in the AFL. So let's get behind our new WA NRL side, the Perth Bears. Let's get behind Western Australia. Everyone, get on board. Team WA is marching forward once again. The West truly is best. Now I'll hand you over to the Sports Minister, Rita Sapiotti, and then we'll be able to take questions between ourselves and representatives of the NRL.
Thank you very much, Premier. As a proud Western Australian and also as State's Minister for Sport and Recreation, I'm very much excited about a WA NRL team in the national competition. As the Premier outlined, we are the economic powerhouse of the nation. We've seen significant population growth, and we know in the suburbs there's incredible growing demand for the game. I was out at Eglinton this morning where I met the Alkimos Tigers, where their membership has grown from 40 to over 400 in just 8 years. So we know through our suburbs, increasing demand for the game, for kids to play the game. And of course, to make sure we keep kids in the game, they need to be able to see the future. And having a WA-based NRL team shows kids the future. And that's fundamental to make sure we continue to have kids out there making sure they can play and they can see the future here in WA. As I said, if Tasmania can have an AFL team, we can have an NRL team. Let's face it, we've got the population, we've got the economy, and we've got the facilities to support a new team. As the Premier outlined, we've done a very conservative economic analysis in relation to the impact this has on the WA economy, a return to the WA economy of 2 to 1. As I said, as Minister for Sport, we're out there supporting grassroots football, new facilities, making sure as many Western Australians can be out there participating in what is an incredible state to be playing sport. So we've invested over many years and continue to invest in sports facilities across the codes, across the state. Whether it be, of course, the Optus Stadium and the benefits that delivers to cricket and football, whether it be the new Sam Kerr Centre delivering benefits to the round ball game, whether it be our investment at the WACA to support cricket, whether it be the new hockey centre, which is a new centres of excellence for Australia. Across codes, across the state, massive commitments when it comes to hard courts, netball courts, and of course basketball courts, and of course our commitments to improve the playing fields, the pitches, the courts, the ovals across the state. And in relation to league, of course, making sure we continue to invest in the infrastructure. As I said, we've got a massive program of upgrading our community sport grounds, whether it be new lights to make sure our fields, our ovals, our pitches can be used more, whether it be making sure we have the change rooms to cater not only for the growing amount of men playing the sport, but also girls. And we've got a massive program to upgrade our change rooms to make sure we can have as many girls and women playing the game as possible. And whether it be the quality of our services, again, investing in WA. So I'm very, very excited by this announcement. I know there's enormous support for the game in the suburbs, whether it be playing, whether it be watching. I truly hope Western Australians get on board, and they may follow a team from the other states, as many do, but get on board our WA team, our Perth Bears. This will be an incredible asset to the WA sporting community, but also to the fabric of WA. Very, very excited by today's announcement.
Okay, as you know, I'm joined by Peter and Andrew today. Why don't we start off with questions, and I might need to throw them on any technicalities.
Premier, how relieved are you to actually get this out in the open now?
Oh, look, obviously this has been a long haul. We've been negotiating with the NRL for many months now. Those conversations have been positive. I was very excited yesterday to sign the agreement with the NRL, and we're really looking forward to now establishing the Perth Bears and making sure that we can be part of the national competition.
What time yesterday was the deal signed?
I can't remember the time. I had a commitment in Kwinana I think I was with some of your colleagues in the media, and when I returned to the office, I was very excited to see a signed a copy of the agreement by Mr. Volandis and was happy to sign it
So it was
myself.
signed after the social media video was recorded announcing the deal?
No, look, I'll be honest with you. I've recorded that video about 3 times as the conversations went on. We wanted to make sure that we were ready to go once the agreement was signed. I signed the agreement yesterday, and then we were obviously able to then release the video.
So when you said on Saturday that you hadn't heard from the NRL, when you said at 8:30 yesterday morning the deal was very, very close but not done, you weren't misleading the public?
No, as I said, I think yesterday I was asked if I was having a press conference today with Peter Volandis at 10:30 a.m. I wasn't. It's actually at 11 a.m. I've been providing you with as much information as possible. The other thing I committed to was providing complete transparency, and we've provided you the details today as well as the modelling. We want to make sure that people can be confident that this represents great value for money for WA taxpayers.
But you haven't
So
released the modelling.
this will produce a great economic benefit for Western Australia. It will provide an opportunity for West Aussies to participate in another national competition, which we all love. But it's also an opportunity it's a great placemaking opportunity. So if you're a tradie in Sydney today and you're wondering what this Build a Life in WA program is about, you'll be more familiar with Western Australia as you see Perth compete in the home and away fixtures from 2027.
Have you and Peter decided to put your war of words aside?
Sorry?
Have you and Peter put your war of words aside now?
Oh, look, Peter and I have remained good colleagues. And as a result of this program, great mates. But it was a deal to be done, and we had to negotiate hard, and we did, because we wanted to make sure it represented value for money for WA taxpayers.
Peter, how confident are you that this will be a competitive team from the outset? Even I noticed that Roger mentioned 2028 yesterday. Is it 27 or 28?
It's actually 2027. And let me say this about Roger. Someone asked a question if we were mates or not. It was the negotiations were like a game of rugby league. He was a halfback I couldn't catch. So he's certainly a wily character and a very good negotiator. But at the end, I think we're both very satisfied with the deal that was done.
Peter, you're quoted this morning as calling WA a gold mine for the NRL. Are you treating this state like a cash cow?
No, the cash cow is actually on Sunrise on Channel 7. I don't know if they're there today. So I think that's the cash cow we're referring to. No, look, it is a gold mine. It's going to have a massive return to the government here. I heard the figure of $28 million return. Our figure is actually $50 million return to the government. The beauty about this particular team is you're going to have 200,000 members coming from New South Wales called the Bears. And the Bears are a very tribal club. They love the club and they will travel. So I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised the number of visitors that will come to Perth from the eastern states and in particular the North Sydney fans. So I think what the Premier has done is he's done a magnificent deal for the economy of Western Australia, but at the same time, naturally Rugby League will benefit.
Peter, just on the Bears, we're broadcast live on 9 right around the country at the moment, which emphasises the monumental occasion this is for the sport of rugby league, particularly penetrating an AFL state that is WA. But how important is it to this franchise to be associated with the Bears of the East Coast?
It's extremely important. The Bears were one of our foundation clubs. They've been there since 1908. It's proven in other sports that if you have one of those traditional clubs behind the new club, it helps. What they're going to also do is provide the players, because they've got the pathways and juniors, etc. back in the eastern states, so they'll have a great partnership with the Perth Bears. But it's important that you have an established fan base, and we wanted to guarantee the visitation. As I said, this is an investment by the West Australian government, and it's got to be seen that way. Roger was very clear, what's our return on capital, what's our return on capital? And the return on capital is those 200,000 Bears fans will certainly be making the trip over to Perth. And I think, as I said, I think it's closer to $50 million return each year than the $28 million.
Well, they're going to be missing out on seats. They're going to be missing out on seats because the capacity here is only 4,000.
Yeah, look, you've got to start from somewhere, and we hope that let's fill it up now, and I'm sure the government, when they see how good rugby league is and how popular it is, and it's the most watched sport in Australia and the Pacific, we have more viewers than any other sport. So it's good that Western Australia are going to get on board with the #1 sport in Australia.
What do you do to make sure that the Bears are going to be competitive?
See here, there is a lot of interest in the Perth Bears, the official unveiling here, which will be their home here in the West. And of course, they'll be getting big crowds over in the East as well, which is where we find Damian Ryan, who's at North Leagues in Kemmeray. which will be their home here in the West, and of course they'll be getting big crowds.
Hey Brace, here I'm in the Bears den, and the Bears are out of hibernation. Aren't they delighted? And this has brought cheers and tears, and there was little fan here that was.
How are you?
We saw the tears rolling out of your eyes.
We've waited since the 15th of October 1999 for this, over 9,000 days. We never gave up, believing that we'd get our club back.
Let's hope you don't have to wait more than 100 years to win a premiership.
We won't. We won't. We never gave up.
For the club itself, I mean, did you ever think this day would happen?
Yes, I never ever gave up.
Yeah.
Never. You've got to believe we're Bears supporters.
Yeah.
We never give up. We always fight.
And you're happy to jump on that plane and head west?
Definitely.
You look like a walk around the room. I've got a bloke here. Look at this. And I know Murray Gillen, an old mate of mine, you've been a fan forever.
Yeah, well, as you know, Damien, my dad played with North Sydney in the 1950s. And look, if there's a more loyal bunch of supporters in the world than the Bears, well, I'm yet to see them. And fantastic news.
Well, mate, that's fantastic. Good on you, mate. Well, we'll see you in, 2 years' time? 2 years' time. There we go, Brace. These guys are very, very happy, obviously. Mate, that's fantastic.
Oh, good on you, Damo. Got a bit of FOMO not being there at North Leagues as the Bears fans celebrate. They are officially back in the National Rugby League, albeit the Perth Bears, but I think footy fans on both sides of the country more than happy with this official unveiling here today. You've seen that live on 9, your home of rugby league, the Perth Bears to come into the National Rugby League in 2027. That's where we wrap up our coverage here at HBF Park. So much more to come. Make sure you tune in to 9 News right throughout the day and night for all the latest on this monumental occasion. I'm James Bracey. Bye for now.
A world-first 3D printed skin.
The colour is still quite purple, but that will eventually fade away.
Less pain, less scarring.
It actually healed quite fast.
A health exclusive.
An incredible benefit for people who have experienced a very, very horrific burn.
9 News, your news, tonight at 6.
We get that your 5-year-old is a food critic and that cooking is your love language. We get you need your protein hit packed with flavour. And that you're after real flavour, real easy. We get your couch can be a dinner table. Chef gets the first taste. And that flavour beats fussy every time. Campbell's, we get real.
Vanish Gold Pro is tackling the world's toughest stains with only one shirt.
There's no way this will come out.
Even in cold and short cycles, one scoop of Vanish is safe on clothes and lifts the toughest of stains. Trust Vanish, forget stains.
This is just painful.
I know, right? Heartburn sucks.
Try this Gaviscon chewing gum.